You're tuning in to Natty News Daily with the latest and breaking natural bodybuilding news. Bringing you today's Natty News, your host, Leroy Rollins.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to another episode of Natty News Daily. Very excited for this one because we've got a couple athletes to talk about, which is always fun, a podcast to mention, and then some WNBF competition news. So kicking off with AJ Morris, a familiar name on these news videos, posted a back pose. It's kind of like a quarter turn, back double bicep, and AJ, man, looking awesome. You guys are seeing in this photo, he's got some mad thickness in that back from top to bottom, right? From his traps down through his lats into his lower back. AJ's got a ton of muscle back there, so making every back pose he does, whether it's just the traditional back double bicep, back lat spread, or a variation like you're seeing here, just very, very good poses for AJ. So he mentioned in the post that he hit a new low of 184.8. So AJ is steadily losing body fat with the hopes of competing in the fall. I believe October is when the show that he's eyeing up would go down over there in the UK. He talks about in this post that as he's getting leaner, he's feeling increase in energy and increased mental clarity, among other things, which is not uncommon. If anybody's gone decently far in their off season and pushed their weight up, they'll be able to vouch for the kind of lethargic feeling that you get, overall just decrease in like energy and that kind of stuff, which comes with being a little bit heavier in the off season. So for AJ and for many people, once you start seeing those pounds fall off, you do feel quite a bit better, which is never a bad thing. So very nice by AJ. You know, if you look at his strength across all pulling movements, deadlifts, rows, pull downs, all that good stuff, AJ's very strong in those movements, which obviously results in the, thickness and density and new muscle that he's built on his back. So very, very excited to see what AJ continues to do the rest of the year. Whether or not he gets on stage, he's still going to be very much improved from the last time he dieted down. So again, AJ, awesome work. Very excited to see what you bring in the fall. Next up, a friend of mine, James Johnson, posted a little update, a little side tricep shot. He's weighing actually very, very close to AJ. He's 187. AJ was 184. So James posted this side tricep shot either today or yesterday. Looking really, really good. James is currently prepping for spring 2021. He's working with Brett Freeman. You guys should know him by now. Pro bantamweight, lightweight champion. Very, 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 very good natural bodybuilder. So they've been working together for quite some time now. So they definitely have a good working relationship. So James is bringing much improved physique as well, similar to AJ. It's going to be interesting to see what James looks like converting from classic physique to open bodybuilding. He's currently not dieting down to get stage lean this year. He's working to keep his metabolism in check, pack on a little bit of muscle, and then prep, like I said, for the spring 2021. So I think he had mentioned that he would start dieting maybe in like December, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, but around that time James would start prepping for April, I think, is when he planned his first show to be. So James, another one that I'm watching. Very excited to see what he brings to the stage. Next up, Jeff Alberts from 3DMJ posted a transformation, a little side-by-side. And this is pretty cool because he's not a young athlete in the sport. Jeff has been competing and bodybuilding for decades, not years, decades. So for someone like myself that's only been, really properly training and stuff for not even 10 years yet, to see what 20, 30 years of work can create is super cool. It's super motivating to see. So you guys are seeing this photo of Jeff here. I don't know when the initial photo was taken. It looks like he might have been, maybe 20, around that age. And now he's been training and competing for decades, right? So plenty of work, plenty of time spent in the gym, time spent, dieting, off season, everything working towards the goal of becoming the best bodybuilder Jeff can be. He notes in this post, it was a pretty long post, so just to kind of pick out one of the key points, he talked about skill development, which I think is a really interesting point and something that not a lot of people think about. But training is a skill, right? When we're training for bodybuilding purposes, it's not just going into the gym randomly and haphazardly and just doing things for the sake of doing them, right? Like there's a process, there's a skill involved with it, and Jeff mentioned that and the importance of it, and even going along the lines of nutrition, right? Having the skills to eat properly and pay attention to your food and all kinds of aspects in that regard as well is super important. So I thought there was some value in sharing Jeff's post, not only showing you the physique transformation, but also the context of what the post was about, because it definitely hit with me pretty hard. So yeah, amazing, Jeff. I'm always a fan of when you post these photos, because it just goes to show what the younger athletes can look forward to if they stick in it for a long time. So not only Jeff, but Team 3DMJ as a whole posts all kinds of great content. So make sure you guys are following them and showing them some support, because they're putting out a ton of good information. Next up, giving a shout out to the podcast that I do. Most recent episode with Brandon Wadas, natural pro bodybuilder. That went up last week, but just giving it a shout out. The podcast has done well. I've gotten some good feedback on it. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It was awesome chatting with Brandon and learning, his whole journey, his process, his mindset, all that good stuff. He talked about the 10-year rule, we kind of dubbed it, and just noting that it takes a solid 10 years, in his opinion, to really develop a good physique that you could be proud of. And that's 10 years of working towards that goal, 10 years of structured diet, structured training, pay attention to all the variables, and doing everything you can. So for Brandon, I think he mentioned he was 28. So from 18 to 28, that's a good chunk of time. And he's developed an amazing physique and still very young in the sport, only 28. He's not even 30 yet, right? So still plenty of years left to continue to make improvements. And, for myself, reflecting on that, I'm 26 now. Around 18, 19 is when I started to take, training seriously. Obviously, I'd been working out for a couple years before that, but definitely not to the structure that maybe when I was 19 or 20. So for me, when I'm around Brandon's age, 28, 29, 30, hopefully we'll have something pretty impressive. And that can go for a lot of you guys listening and watching this video. If you're in your late 20s, you're probably approaching that time when you can look in the mirror and be like, okay, we're on the right track. So good podcast, right? So if you want to go check that out, be sure to check it out on the YouTube channel. And don't forget to give Brandon a follow on his Instagram as well. I think it's the Natty guy, the _ Natty _ guy, I believe is his Instagram handle. Next up, Leo King, Canadian natural pro bodybuilder, giving him a shout out because he is currently in week 4 of his prepping for the fall, I believe. He weighed 164.7, noting that it was down 1.3, which is awesome. Leo gets extremely shredded, so be sure to watch his prep because he gets damn lean. So just giving a shout out to the fellow Canadian natural pro, Leo. Excited to see what comes for this prep. And last up in the news, guys, some exciting news from the WNBF continuing to expand natural bodybuilding across the world. So they announced the WNBF Czech Championship, which is the first natural bodybuilding event in the Czech Republic. So very, very exciting. That's going to be October 17th. So one of those fall shows that hopefully can continue to move forward with the world situation that we're dealing with right now. So again, just want to give that a shout out because very, very exciting that the WNBF continues to expand across the world, promoting natural bodybuilding, sharing natural bodybuilding with the world. So very, very exciting. The Czech Championships on October 17th. Thanks for watching the news, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Natty _news_daily, and I'll see you guys in the next one.